What is the deal, everybody? It's your boy Kenny from the Call Up Podcast, and man, what a Thursday it was! It was supposed to be a nice, slow Thursday. Supposed to be talking a little bit of Impact Wrestling throughout the week, leading into another show because I had just broke the Rumor Report episode 1, and I said, next week I'll come back with another episode. But of course, in WWE fashion, they had to give us some type of news. And earlier today, 17 cuts in WWE happened in like the matter of minutes. It was something that wasn't in the works that everybody would think. Like, we saw it coming. A lot of big names were dropped tonight, and it was just shocking. You read a lot of this stuff online, and you read like the feedback that's going on between everybody in the wrestling community, where they're just kind of just like, some are happy, some are shocked, a little bit of assholes here and there giving their opinion as to like who should have been let go and why is this person still there. You hate to see somebody sit there and lose their job, especially somebody who's, very talented at what they do. A lot of the names that came up was like, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, Keith Lee, Mia Yim, Nia Jax, Ember Moon, Frankie Monet, Harry Smith, B-Fab, Eva Marie, Lince Dorado, Gran Metalik, Katrina, Trey Baxter, Zayda, Jess, and Oney Lorcan were just a lot of the names that were released today. And it was very shocking with a lot of the names that got released, like I said before, like Karrion Kross, being just called up to Monday Night Raw. You would think that they just repackaged him and they were going to maybe use him for something else. They ended up letting him go. Scarlett has been having a couple of dark matches, and they wanted to bring her up to the main roster as well to give her more of a push in the women's division, and then they ended up letting her go as well. Keith Lee, when I heard that Keith Lee got released, it was something more of like, now we get to see like limitless Keith Lee back again. But at the same time, I felt so bad because he's been working so hard to get back to the ring and get back to himself. He had a whole bunch of medical issues in the beginning of the year where, we didn't see him as much. So we was kind of wondering like what was going on with him, and he really wasn't saying too much. He had like these cryptic messages online, or he'll like post like these videos or like these pictures, and we kind of wonder like, what's going on with Keith Lee. And then out of nowhere, he comes back, and they change his name, they change his gimmick, his wardrobe all over again, and they named him Keith Bearcat Lee. And we're kind of sitting there, a lot of fans took to Twitter and said, like, what's going on? Why is this something that they wanted to change? And Keith Lee, being the professional gentleman that he is, took it in stride and said, you know what, I'm going to run with it. I'm going to continue working and entertain the fans. And you guys are going to see the Keith Lee that you guys loved. And then he did open up about his situation, like health-wise with his heart. And we were all pulling for him. So, like, to see this guy get released, it's a bittersweet thing. It's like, you want to be happy for him, but at the same time, you're just a little bit sad. Mia Yim is another person that when her name got mentioned in the releases, I felt so bad because, like, I feel like she didn't get a fair shake in WWE. She did great in the Mae Young Classics. They offered her a contract. She goes to NXT and just completely kills it at the time that she was there. Gets sent to the main roster with a whole new faction, a whole new look. Something that just didn't work for her, and we were all wondering, like, why did they put her in this situation when they could have just brung her out as herself, as Mia Yim, as the character that we fell in love with, and then we finally thought we was going to have that, with the draft, and we seen that she got drafted to Monday Night Raw, and then she was going to be Mia Yim. We was finally going to get Mia Yim that we seen on NXT, and she didn't even get to debut, which is crazy to me. I wish they would have gave her that fair shake. Another name that popped up that I was so surprised, that she even made this list, and that was Nia Jax. Being, coming from the background that she's in and the family, like Roman Reigns and The Rock, and being with the Usos, you would think she had like that cushion, especially all the times people said that she was unsafe to work with, she was hurting a lot of people, and just getting a lot of criticism in the wrestling community as far as like why she's still wrestling with WWE. Everybody felt like she was just getting chance after chance after chance, especially when she had that incident with Becky Lynch where she like broke her nose. People vocally said like Nia Jax should be fired, which you really don't want to see somebody lose their job over a mistake. And then the issue that she had with Charlotte Flair not too long ago before she got hurt. That was another thing where people were just like, look, she's doing it again. Kairi Singh incident, that was like another. So it just kept on building. So now you're kind of wondering, like, where is this girl going to go? And like, when is it going to be the time when you actually let her go? And it looks like now is the time where WWE said, you know what, you're just not fitting the product and the mold that we are looking for. It looks like. Another name that popped up was Ember Moon. Man, to see Ember Moon get let go is something where you kind of just say to yourself, like, what is WWE looking for? I know that Ember Moon's mic skills wasn't the best, but if you let this girl go inside of a ring, she is going to perform at 110% and give you everything she has. So she had some time in the main roster. It didn't work out for her. She got sent back to NXT where, she had a great run as NXT Women's Tag Team Champ with Chauncey Blackheart. She had some incredible singles matches before even teaming with Chauncey. And now to see her, be let go, I know that there's going to be companies out there that's just waiting for those 90 days clause to be up with her, that they could just like snag her up like the same way they did with Ruby Soho. Moving on, Frankie Monet, who was just recently signed to NXT a couple of months ago, gets let go. Everybody knows who Frankie Monet is outside of WWE. She was Taya Valkyrie, and she's also married to Johnny Morrison. She came into NXT with a fresh start, a whole new gimmick, which a lot of people in the beginning didn't like. And I was definitely one of those people that was just like wondering, like, why would they change the name? And she was just very upfront with it and said that she loved the name change. She loved the new gimmick that they were giving her, and she was embracing it the best way she can. With that being said, like, now she was in a really great storyline with Raquel Gonzalez, fighting for the NXT Women's Champion. Obviously, she didn't win, but she was continuing to have like these great matches with like up and coming people in the NXT 2.0. I really thought that she was fitting the mold for the new NXT 2.0, but it looks like they had other things in mind for her that just didn't work out, and they just said, you know what, we're gonna let you go, which is like just crazy to me. Harry Smith was another person that got let go, and he just got there. Like, he hasn't even had a televised match. He did a couple of dark matches just to get his feet wet and, have a quick cup of coffee at the door, and he was already let go. There are plans for him to go to NXT UK and work a couple of matches over there, maybe have some storylines, maybe have some, some different angles, maybe with somebody like Walter, and that got cut short, so we have no idea what's going to happen next. And, for me, I feel like a person like Harry Smith, you kind of just wasted his time. You gave him the hope that he was going to be back in WWE. in some capacity form, and you kind of just like left them to the wayside until you just decided, like, you know what, it probably wasn't going to work out. Let's just cut our ties and hope for the best down the line, because pretty much that's what WWE does at these points, where they just go and they let people go, and then years later they end up coming back, or they revamp themselves, and WWE likes what they did in the indies and decides to bring them back. And we've seen that with Drew McIntyre, Jinder Mahal, just to name a few people who left and came back. Another name that it just shocked a lot of people when this name came up, and that was B-Fab from Hit Row. Like, you literally just brung in Hit Row from NXT. You ripped them from a brand that they were just starting to build themselves, and they got hit with a lot of criticism going into the draft, as far as like, why did they get called up. A lot of people said that they wasn't ready to get called up, and they should have spent more time in NXT, even though they had a veteran like Isaiah Swerve Scott on their team helping them. They all got criticized, and now you bring in B-Fab and you let her go. From my knowledge, she was still under the 30-day non-compete clause with her NXT contract, because they didn't give her a main roster contract yet. So she's only going to get paid throughout this month, and then next month is pretty much like open season for her, as far as like where she's going to go, who would pick her up. I can see her going to a place like Impact Wrestling, where their women's division is developing every month, and you're getting top stars that are going there that want to wrestle with the women that they have in their roster. So I'm kind of hoping that like B-Fab can like pick it up quickly and go someplace that's going to help her grow. I know a lot of people is just like, well, you can go to AEW. I don't think AEW is going to sign a lot of these guys and girls who are on this list. I think that they're going to probably play it smart and see where their chips lie. And Tony Khan is going to wonder, like, who can I actually pick up and make them a bigger star, or they can help our brand here in AEW grow. Moving on to another person that I felt like, it really didn't hurt them too much as far as getting let go, and that was Eva Marie. She came back for a little bit to do a couple of lines with Dewdrop and get a couple of the ratings up for Monday Night Raw, and then she left. She had her little stunt with Shayna Baszler, where they kind of wrote her off of Monday Night Raw for a little while, and now we've seen that she's being cut. But reports came in that she is doing a movie. So like I said, something like this, it'll probably hurt, because you don't want to lose a job, you don't want to lose some form of income, but she's definitely already landing on her feet quite well. Another two names. So we have no more Lucha House Party, because Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik both got let go as a team. And I know for Gran Metalik, he's probably really happy, because he asked for his release a couple of months ago, and they just kind of left him on the wayside, as far as wondering whether or not he was going to get his request, or he was just going to stay home. And it looks like he got it. I don't think Lince Dorado was looking to get let go. It's unfortunate that he had to be a part of that list of people that they wanted to let go, so but now that you have all three members of Lucha House Party in the indies, like, the sky's the limit for these guys. Like, I can see all three of them going to like a AAA, going to AEW. We just had Kalisto debut on Dynamite this week, and even though he didn't win, he showed he had a really impressive debut on Dynamite. So imagine now where you have Lince and you have Metalik waiting in the wings after the 90 days is up, and they can actually go out there and become a team again. Had a couple of NXT cuts as well. Trey Baxter was another person who got let go, and it looks like he's already on his feet. GCW had announced that after his 30 days complete clause, which ends in December 4th, he's already scheduled to appear at a GCW show. So he's going back to his old gimmick, which is great. So he's already landing on his feet. A lot of these guys and girls are going to land right back on their feet. They're going to end up just going to another company where it's going to either help them improve their characters, or they're going to end up helping out the company improve more in their roster. I think, somebody like, Karrion Kross, who is definitely going to, could go back to Impact Wrestling and pick up where he left off, especially with, him. He used to team with Moose, and now Moose is the World Heavyweight Champ over on Impact Wrestling. So I imagine where you can get like Killer Kross back again and have Scarlett by his side with all the different storylines that they can portray in Impact Wrestling. Another person that I feel can either go to Impact Wrestling or AEW, and that's Mia Yim. Mia Yim already has a relationship with Impact Wrestling. She can easily just go back. I don't think that Impact will close the door on her, and say that they don't have any room for her. They would definitely have such type of room to have her and Keith Lee, because anybody would love to have somebody with the abilities that Keith Lee has, especially for a big guy. He could just move like if he's a cruiserweight. I'm really hoping to see. I want to see what happens in the next 30 days with a lot of these people from NXT, like Ember Moon, B-Fab. Katrina was another person who, you thought that she was going to do something when she made it to the main roster and when she teamed up with Sin Cara, but that didn't do anything at all. And Sin Cara did go on the record stating that once they had that stunt, it wasn't really going to go anywhere. So she was just only there for the time being, and they were just going to move on from that storyline once it was already done. Another person that I want to see after 30 days to see where she's going to go, and that's Zendaya. I think, she is an incredible talent. I remember talking to her a couple of months back when she first debuted on NXT, and she just was just so excited to see where her career was going to go in NXT. And obviously we didn't see too much of her on the brand. I'm hoping to see a lot more of her now on the indies. And that's like the beauty of this right now, is that like we're gonna get like all these top people now that have gotten released from WWE hitting the indie scene. COVID is still a big issue all around the world, but we're starting to open up a little bit more. So to have like these guys and girls out there on the road hitting different companies and putting on these killer matches every week for like the fans and build up their stardom all over again, it's gonna be something great to see, and I can't wait to see it. And that's why I said, like, yeah, it's sad that a lot of these people lost their jobs today. A lot of them who are in their 90-day clause will still get paid out throughout the holiday. The people who are in their 30-day contracts with their non-compete clause, they're most likely just going to get paid until Thanksgiving, and that's the harsh reality. But they will land on their feet very quickly, especially in this business the way it is now. Everyone's hungry to get back into the game, and everybody's hungry to be that next AEW that can sit there and say, like, we can take on a big company like WWE, and I have no idea what WWE is up to. There's been so many speculations as to where they're going to go next. Are they going to sell the company? Are they going to bring in new members? Vince McMahon taking over NXT was something that a lot of people were not happy with. They're still not happy with it, and we're kind of wondering what's next. Like, where does Triple H land in this, You know, is he going to leave? Who else is going to leave? You know, you have Kevin Owens, who I reported yesterday, you know, his contract is up in January. Is he going to leave, especially with all these cuts that are happening now? And he sees it. Is he going to stick around? Johnny Gargano is another person. His contract is up in December. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? You know, I know his wife, you know, Candice LeRae is pregnant right now. So it's kind of like up in the air whether or not you're thinking, like, am I going to stay? I'm seeing so many of my friends getting cut. Can I be next? You know, even if you're a top star in this company right now, it doesn't look like you can be safe. Look at Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt was one of their top earners when it came to merch. People love Bray Wyatt. People love the Fiend character. And, you know, there's so many different reports on why he was let go. And you can't really pinpoint it as to, like, why this happened. And it just... You know, it's a really troubling time in WWE and in wrestling in general, because a lot of guys and girls are just literally probably walking on eggshells, thinking to themselves, like, you know, like, the next round of cuts, am I going to be on this list? You know, how safe is my my job here with this company, especially if you're a top person, you know, say like a Rey Mysterio or Dominic or a Seth Rollins or Edge. You know, these people could be let go at the drop of a dime, you know. And I had to look back and, like, just for the year of 2021, like, WWE has let go of 72 people, 72 talents that they had either sitting in the back, sitting in NXT, or just doing matches for a main event and 205 Live. And now they're all gone. A lot of them has landed on their feet and done quite well in AEW and MLW and Impact Wrestling. And others, they're kind of just still quiet and trying to get their footing and see where they want to go. And, you know, I thought that the only thing that I was going to report about WWE today was their earnings for their third quarter market, which is, you know, which was another thing that got to me, is like, you just came up with the third quarter reports stating that you guys made $256 million and you let go of 18 people that have been entertaining or trying to entertain the WWE universe, and it's just for nothing, you know. I'm really hoping that Tony Khan picks up a lot of these people, because he and AEW have been doing well. You know, they've been a very strong competition for WWE, and it's only going to get better and better. The more and more people you release, the more and more these companies are going to grow, and they're going to show, you know, Vince McMahon and everyone else that they can take them on, and they can just be that that company that's going to put people into seats. You know, WWE, even though that they made a really good earnings in, you know, in product and in shows, you know, still is struggling to get people to come into their shows, still struggling to have people watch their product at times, because it's just so bad to watch. But I'm not going to get into that, because we'll be in here all night long. I just wanted to give a quick update as far as, like, giving a list of the people who got released. Once I get some more information, obviously I'm going to come back on here, drop another episode of the Rumor Report, and just continue to update everyone. Guys, follow me on social media. You can follow me on Twitter on the same name, The Call Up. You can follow me on Instagram at The Call Up as well. I interact with everyone that follows me. I follow them back. Live shows on Monday for Monday Night Raw with me and Toe and Show. We do the Raw watch along. If you are a figure collector, by all means, head over to Ringside Collectibles. They are one of the number one sources to get all of your action figure needs. A lot of these people that is on this list do have action figures over on Ringside Collectibles. So head on over to Ringside Collectibles. Use the code word, The Call Up, to save 10% on your order. it would definitely help you when you start to stock up for the holidays. Christmas is right around the corner, and I guarantee you there is a little kid in your life, or even you, the little kid inside of yourself, that's going to want a Karrion Kross or a new Scarlett, maybe even a new Keith Lee or Mia Yim. You never know. Now, Nia Jax is coming out soon too, so you might want to pick that up. You can also catch me doing corrections on Thursdays, like I said, with Tom and DJ over at the Run-In Podcast. And you can catch me Thursdays live as well with the Knuckleheads doing another wrestling review. I jump on there once in a while to chat with them for a couple of hours. So catch me on there. Saturday mornings on Instagram, you can catch me on there talking for Wrestle Brunch, where we recap the whole entire week of wrestling and give our predictions as to what we want to see next. A little bit different formatting here, once again, for the Rumor Report. But I just want, like I said, I wanted to come on here and talk with everyone and get their opinion. So leave me a comment, leave a review. Let's get these numbers up there. Let's start getting the Call Up Podcast up to the top 50 in professional wrestling podcasting. And guys, be safe out there. Have a good weekend if I don't speak to you. And thank you so much for listening to another edition of the Call Up Podcast. And I am out of here.